Good evening. I would like to call to order the Keizer City Council. It is Monday, February 4th, 2019, and ask our city recorder to please call roll.
Councilor Herrera?
Here.
Councilor Parsons?
Here.
Councilor Smith?
Here.
Mayor Clark?
Here.
Council President Freeman?
Here.
Councilor Reed?
Here.
Councilor Kohler?
Present, thank you.
And Youth Councilor Ferris.
Youth Councilor Ferris is excused tonight. And welcome back, Council President Freeman. I have some special guests here tonight from Troop 167. Gentlemen, would you please come forward, introduce yourselves, and I've asked them to please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Come on down. So if you just say your names and the troop you're with in that microphone there. Yeah.
Hi, my name is Blaine, and this is my little brother Nicholas. We are the Boy Scouts of America on Troop 167.
Thank you. Would you all please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? Gentlemen, lead us off.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Thank you. Would you like to tell us what badge you'll be earning tonight?
Citizenship in the community.
Sorry.
Citizenship in the community.
Very good. Well, if you have any questions, either you or your troop leader is welcome to email us, and we'd be happy to answer them. And thank you for joining us here tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you. Let's give them a hand. Tonight, under special orders of business, we're going to start off with the McNary High School AVID program, the Shoe Battle of the Schools. Councilor Reed, you want to lead us off with what this is about?
All right. Actually, I'm going to let those kids do most of the talking because they know most of what's going on here. But this is a really important program at school, and this is a program that has been going on for a few years now, and we are determined to beat South, right? Is that who we're angling to beat? So yes. So I will turn it over to you.
So
And that's a poster right there in case you need to refer to it. And you might want to hold it up so the TV audience can see that. So introduce yourself and your city of residence, which...
And also, this mic over here works. You just have to bring it very close to yourself.
Okay.
Thank you.
So I'm Zavia Stokes. I live in Salem, Oregon, but I attend school in Keizer.
I'm Joe Verado. I live in Keizer and I attend McNary High School.
All right.
So the shoe battle has been going on for years now. We've been participating since this has been going for 2 years now. But this is just now, we're starting to get competition and we're starting to feel like we need to, beat South for once, because they always used to always come out on top. So the shoe battle is here to provide shoes for the homeless. There's no way to really stop homeless or youth homelessness. It's just always going to be a thing, and we've noticed that it's like continuing to progress, and that McNary is becoming a widespread amount of people being homeless, and we can't really do much because we're not at the age of income or being able to be on our own. But one way we know we can provide is if we team up with 1,000 Souls, and in our school we participate in a competition that gathers a bunch of shoes. We clean them, we store them, and we make sure they go out to homeless people and homeless teenagers to get them, and so they can transportate themselves with their own 2 feet.
Fabulous. So a couple of things. One, are you guys aware of Taylor House?
Yes, indeed we are.
Okay. So it was a great organization to partner with and encourage everybody you're working with to continue to partner with Taylor House in helping us better serve our youth who are homeless and help get them, everybody, into the housing and services that each person needs.
We've also go through a day of training where they do educate us about homelessness, and they do give us those resources that if we do encounter those who are homeless and those teenagers, and which I've come across multiple times doing this program, how to best fit and where to put them and give them the resources that they need.
Perfect. That is exciting. So, where do we bring the shoes?
Okay, so there are middle schools and elementaries that we have planted out. We're kind of figuring out some of them right now, but for sure you can bring them into McNary. They'll be in the front office, and we have a big box you can leave them in. I know for sure Kennedy has a huge box for sure. Any other places?
So, I'll just begin. So the other places that we have is not just McNary. It's also some of the other. It's also some of the other places that helped on plan on joining us to help collect in shoes. We have Dutch, right? Did Dutch join? Yeah. So we have some locations are also Dutch. We have some places in Salem that we also took in. So we have multiple different locations to turn in the shoes, but our main objective is to turn in all shoes at McNary so we can keep account of how much shoes we have over there.
Okay. So McNary, anytime that the building's open, people can drop them off?
Yes, indeed.
Okay? Oh, yes, please, Councilor Reed.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. And can you tell us the dates that this drive is going on?
This drive is starting February 4th. We're taking on Valentine's Day to show love, and we are ending February 26th.
Okay. So are you looking for particular kinds of shoes? I mean, gently worn, gently used, or new? And are particular sizes, mostly adult sizes for students, is what you're thinking?
So the shoes that we're looking for are athlete shoes, boots, and specialty shoes. So like for rain gear, because in Oregon it rains a lot, and we need rain shoes for the kids who need them. And most of the shoes that we do need from that is like, mostly they're athlete shoes because, I mean, a lot of students walk from the school to their house because some of them don't have a bus that takes them home. Some of them ride the public bus or they ride the school transported bus. So that's why we're looking for mostly athletic shoes than specialty and boots.
Okay. And then is this on social media so people can share this out?
Yes, it is. We are, this year also is our second year. We're also collecting shoelaces and socks as well.
Oh, shoelaces?
Yes.
Have I got a box for you?
Really?
Well, you know how your athletic shoes come with an extra pair of laces?
Yeah.
Usually I wear out the bottom of the shoe before I use that second pair of laces.
Definitely.
So, good to know. All right. Yes. Oh, Council President Freeman.
I was just waiting to make sure you were done. So I just want to thank the Keizer Times first for running the story, because I reached out to Councilor Reed to reach out to Ms. Zer, is that how you say it? The avid advisor, to encourage you guys to come and share this information with us. And so I would just ask that you come back when the event is over and let us know how many shoes you collect. And I believe also in the article it said that if someone didn't have shoes but wanted to donate cash, that I believe that goes into the city of Salem, and you need
Yes.
to designate McNary, right? So McNary gets credit.
Yes.
And then I would just challenge the council. It sounds like we have a lot of things, and I have 2 pairs of shoes that I would love to give you tonight if I could.
Yeah.
If not, I can take them to school, but if I can hand them off to you, because I already bought 2 new pairs of shoes. And so it was a good excuse for me to clean out my closet. Yay! So I just want to thank you for taking this on and encourage the community to support you in this endeavor. So thank you.
Great. Thank you for having us.
Anyone else? Councilor Herrera.
I too want to, you said, Councilor Freeman said pretty much everything I was going to say, but I want to commend you for doing this because, like, it's so cool that you guys are doing, young people are helping. It's always a need, and you can't do everything, but you can do something, and this is great, especially this time of year. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Good luck. Go get them.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Joe.
So it is now my pleasure to introduce Elena Garcia, who's going to come up here. And Tracy, are you going to show the video first? What would you like to do?
First, please.
Okay, we're gonna get this set. While Tracy helps get her set up, what I'd like everybody to know is Oregon Kids Governor is a statewide civics program for fifth graders sponsored by the Oregon Secretary of State's office. Each school in Oregon is eligible to enter one student candidate to run in the statewide election that other fifth graders vote in. Oregon's Kid Governor candidates create a campaign video outlining why they want to be Oregon's Kid Governor, their leadership qualities and skills, a community issue that they want to address, and why that issue is important. Elena Garcia is a student at Forest Ridge Elementary. She entered the contest and was chosen as one of the 7 finalists. Elena is here tonight to present her video and for us to recognize her as a finalist for Oregon's Kid Governor. Welcome, Elena. We're glad you're here tonight. Elena, as you get started, would you like to introduce your family who's with you tonight?
Yes. So I.
Is that going to work?
My leadership qualities and characteristics include loyalty, responsibility, and I am very understanding.
There we go.
I
Okay.
want
Do you want to start it
child
from the
safety
beginning?
in our community because as kids, we
Okay,
need
we're going to do
learn
the
be
video
more
and
aware
then you can introduce
of our
folks, okay?
surroundings and what
There we go.
We'll pause it for a minute.
Okay? All right.
So I have here my mom and my sister Bella and our principal, Mr. Charbonneau.
Thank you all for being here tonight. So before you start your video, why did you want to do this?
I wanted to do this because as kids, I think we don't notice how we need to be more safe with people who are bad and yeah.
So would you like to play your video so we can see your entry and then we can talk about it a little bit?
Yes.
Okay. And this is also available, the link is in our packets.
My name is Elena, and I want to be Oregon's Kid Governor because I want to teach about child safety and awareness using my acronym, SHINE. My leadership qualities and characteristics include loyalty, responsibility, and I am very understanding. I want to teach about child safety in our community because as kids, we need to learn to be more aware of our surroundings and what we can do to be safer. Our state will be a safer place for kids to live in when we make a difference on this issue. Let's start with my acronym SHINE. I created SHINE because I wanted a word that kids could remember and relate to when they thought of child safety. The S in SHINE stands for stranger danger. We need to know about the potential dangers that can come with people we don't know. The H in SHINE stands for helpers to trust. Just like knowing who is a stranger, we need to know who can help us. Helpers may be parents, family members, or even teachers. The I in SHINE stands for internet awareness. We can do this by having private accounts or
Okay.
Look for the helper.
Looks like the system decided to quit on us.
We were at like 1:15, so.
Oh, was it? Oh. Yeah. Well, and the link is on, in our packet, yes. Right, absolutely. I have it. Okay, and then, is that going to come back to life? Okay, it's not coming back to life. All right.
Computer's dead.
So Elena, you were just, in your video, you were talking about Shine.
Yes.
And it left off at I. Can you tell us what the I, N, and E stand for?
The I stands for internet awareness. As kids, we need to know with social media that people can go on the internet and find out stuff about you. The N stands for know your numbers, and in case of emergencies, we need to know phone numbers and addresses and numbers like that of important people we can go to in case of an emergency. The E stands for everybody in a group, so even if we're walking to school or just like riding your bike around the block, it's more safe as kids to go in a group.
Very good. Well done. And way to keep your cool as this has happened to all of us with our electronics when we've done presentations. So very good. I'm very proud of you. What have you learned as a candidate for Kid Governor?
I've learned that that it's really nice to try to put yourself out and try to fix something in your community. And it's nice because we're kids and we don't have very many opportunities to try to fix something in Oregon because we aren't old enough to do stuff yet. And I've learned that it's really nice to be able to try to do something for our community.
Well done and congratulations. Very good. So Elena, I have a little something for you. This is a certificate of recognition presented to Elena Garcia in honor of her achievement as a finalist in the Oregon's Kid Governor Civics Program representing Forest Ridge Elementary and the Keizer community. So I'll present this to you, and then we'll ask city councilors if they have any questions. Well done. So does everybody feel like I do that, having now heard from three groups of youth here tonight, that we're in good hands for the future? I certainly think so. So, speaking of volunteers, we will now go to city committee reports. And first up, we have the Volunteer Coordinating Committee recommendations for appointment, City Parks Advisory Board, Keizer Points of Interest Committee, and Keizer Public Arts Commission. City Manager.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. The Volunteer Coordinating Committee met on January 17th, 2019 to review applications and interview candidates for openings on several committees. The committee is recommending the following applicants for appointment. Parks Advisory Board, Mike Pantalone for position number 2, term expiring 31 December 2019. Keizer Points of Interest Committee, Shannon Flowers for position number 4, term expiring 30 November 2021. And for the Public Arts Commission, they're recommending Dakota Saunders for position number 2, term expiring 30 June 2020. It is recommended City Council accept the recommendations of the Volunteer Coordinating Committee and appoint the applicants as outlined above. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Are there any questions on the staff report? Seeing none, Council President Parson, wow, Freeman.
No.
2 years of habit.
okay, I have large shoes to fill, I know that. So I move that the city council accept the recommendations of the volunteer coordinating committee for the Parks Advisory Board, Mike Pentalone, Keizer Points of Interest Committee, Shannon Flowers, and Public Art Commission for Dakota Saunders for the terms and the positions listed in the staff report.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that the Keizer City Council accept the recommendations of the Volunteer Coordinating Committee as listed. Discussion. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes unanimously, and welcome to these three volunteers to our core of volunteers on our committees and commissions. Thank you. Very thankful for their willingness to serve. That takes us then to public testimony. This time is provided for citizens to address the council on any matters other than those on the agenda scheduled for public hearing. We have one public hearing tonight, which is an ordinance to vacate a portion of Shamawa Road Northeast. And so if you're here to talk about anything else, now is the time. And I do have Chariot's Director, Colleen Bush, to come on down and talk to us about the Chariot's updates on fairs. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Good to see you all. Thank you for having me. Colleen Bush. I live in Keizer, Oregon. I am a member of the Board of Directors for Salem Keizer Transit District, representing Keizer, which is Subdistrict 2. And on our last board meeting, we had our first hearing of the new ordinance changing fares for the buses. I'm going to read from my notes here. We had our first reading. The last fare change for the district occurred in January 2015 with the adoption of Ordinance 2014-02 on October 23, 2014. On November 1, Chariot submitted its application to the Oregon Department of Transportation for the new statewide Transportation Improvement Fund formula funds, and that's the fund that was generated through House Bill 2017. These new grant funds will provide for weekend, extended weekday, evening, and holiday service on Chariot's local buses, and Saturday and holiday service on Chariot's regional buses. The funds will also be used to provide a new youth fare. Speaking of youth. Yes. This new fare category will satisfy a requirement of the STIF program, which is the acronym for Statewide Transportation Improvement Fund, which states that at least 1% of the funds shall be used to improve transportation for students in grades 9 through 12. The district's grant application recommends over 2% of the grant funds be dedicated to the proposed youth fare in fiscal years 2020 and 2021. You can find this information on the chariots.org website. Right now, a local youth fare is 80 cents one way. The proposed youth fare will be 50 cents. A local day pass is $1.50. The proposed new fare is $1. A 30-day pass for youth 6 to 18, ages 6 to 18. Yes, $22.50, and the new fare will be $10. And it goes on with some more of that. We had a public notice. We had our first reading at our last board meeting, January 24th. Our next board meeting will have our second reading, February 28th. The public is welcome to come and give comment and let us know, pass it or don't pass it. And we are down to 214 days till Saturday service, which is September 7th. So I think that's it.
Great.
Any questions?
Councilor Reed.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I was wondering, I know before the recession hit and so forth, passes were made through the counselors at the various, or made available through the counselors at the various schools for special, not special needs, for kids who needed those passes, even beyond the reduced fares. Is that still happening, or?
That detail we haven't worked out yet.
Okay.
If you want to find out more about that, I can also make a note and get back to you on that.
Okay, thank you.
And I also understand that Chariots has also been providing transportation for people getting to shelters during this cold season.
Yes, they have.
And can you talk a little bit about that?
I don't know any more than that.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
But it's getting people to the 3 warming shelters that we have here in the, they're all in the city of Salem, but they're partnerships with Community Action Agency. And I just want to express my appreciation for being part of the team that serves people who are homeless to
And
get
we
to
also,
safe spaces.
partner with just disappeared. Not Liberty House, but Willamette,
Community Action?
no.
No, the other one.
Anyway, they apply for fairs every year, and we give out several thousand so that they can then distribute them. And I'll wave my hand when I remember the name, I'm sorry.
It happens, but I appreciate the partnership very much. It really helps get people where they need to be. So appreciate that. Any other questions? Thank you so much for sharing that with us tonight. And I'm enjoying the countdown to the Saturday service. Anybody else want to address the city council tonight under public testimony? All right, then we will go on to public hearings. Oh, do we have one? No? United Way. All right, so it's United Way, passes are given to them for distribution. Thank you. Public hearings, we have one tonight then for an ordinance to vacate a portion of the Shamawa Road Northeast, Keizer, Oregon. I'd like to open public hearing. City Manager.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. City Attorney.
Thank you, Chris, Madam Mayor and Council. At the December 17, 2018 meeting, the council initiated a street vacation process for a portion of Chamawa Road by the roundabout, and that matter is set for public hearing tonight. When the roundabout was installed at Chamawa and Verda, Chamawa was realigned and resulted in the roadway being further away from that property on the northeast corner. And at that time of the realignment, the property owner was informed that at some point after it was finished, the portion of the right-of-way would probably be vacated. Now, I have a couple new counselors, and we haven't done a street vacation in quite a while for some of the counselors who've been here, so I thought I'd take just a few moments to explain a street vacation. It does not mean the street gets to go somewhere for 2 weeks and come back. It's not that kind of vacation. Streets typically are not owned by the city. The city, they're dedicated to the public, and the city is a trustee for the public for that part of the real estate where the right-of-way is. When a street's no longer needed, or a portion of a street like this, there's state statutory process requires putting signs up. I don't know if anybody noticed, but there's signs up on that property and publishing notice of the public hearing, and going through a process to vacate the public's interest in that. I often got asked, we used to do more of these, we haven't done any in quite a few years, but, well, does the city deed that property? And it's no, because we don't own it really. We are a trustee for the public. We vacate the public's interest, and state law determines where that interest goes. So the underlying what's called fee interest in the real estate usually goes to the adjoining property owner. Not in every case, but in most cases. So when the city goes through the vacation process and it's finalized, the vacation ordinance is actually recorded in the real property records, and that acts to vacate the public's interest, and the statute says where that interest goes. Typically, like I say, it's to the adjoining property owner. So in this case, it's extra side yard, basically, for that property owner. We will be, as a condition in the vacation ordinance, be getting an easement back from the property owner for the utilities are there, but in essence, it's not needed for right-of-way anymore. So that's how the street vacation works. In any event, the recommendation is to open and conduct a public hearing. I believe, Madam Mayor, you did open it, if I recall.
I did.
Okay. And take any public testimony might be, and if there's no questions, close the public hearing and adopt the attached ordinance. And with that, I'd be happy to answer any questions.
All right, thank you very much. Are there any questions on the staff report? Councilor Kohler.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Not on the staff report, but our affected property owner is here tonight.
Okay. And that's, okay. So you are the property owner of the location we're discussing. And the street is no longer close to your windows. It's kind of nice, isn't it? Did you wish to address the council on this during the public testimony on this?
I just want to beautify it. It's ugly.
Want to beautify it? Okay.
We want to put a barrier so that a car cannot enter our bedroom.
Keeping cars from,
But it will look nice. It won't be a plywood fence. It will be nice. So we would like to, landscape it, make it look nice.
we have to, okay. All right, so it's just to landscape it, spruce it up, and make it look nice again, and put up a fence or some sort of barrier to keep vehicles from going astray. Anybody else? All right, Anything else for the council? Close the public hearing. Council President Freeman.
I move the City Council approve a bill for an ordinance to vacate a portion of Shamara Road Northeast, Keizer, Oregon.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that the Keizer City Council adopt a bill for an ordinance to vacate a portion of Smarl Road Northeast, Keizer, Oregon. Further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion passes unanimously. Enjoy. And thank you for coming tonight. Appreciate that. That takes us then to administrative action, and item 8A is a Keizer United disbursement request, and Meredith Mooney is here as well. City Manager, and then we'll invite Meredith to talk to us.
Great. Thank you, Madam Mayor. Mr. Wood.
Madam Mayor, City Council, the 2018-19 adopted budget includes $2,000 in appropriations for Keizer United. At the August 6th meeting, we already allocated $1,000, or we received approval to distribute $1,000 to them with the request that they would come back and tell us how they spent the money, in addition to how they would spend the additional $1,000. So we have representatives from Keizer United here tonight that would like to address the City Council.
Thank you very much. Come on down.
Good evening. My name is Meredith Mooney, and I am the president of Keizer United. And excuse my stuffiness. I've had a bit of a cold. So I'm here tonight to ask or request the remaining $1,000 be dispersed to Keizer United. And our part of that agreement was to come and share with you what we used the first $1,000 for. So the first $1,000 we used to help support or encourage the growth of Keizer closets. So they are at McNary, Whitaker, Claggett, and Kennedy Elementary now. And so it's super exciting. We were able to give them $500. And then Rickman Garden, they put in a solar system, and we were able to help with $500 toward that. And then there were other things we did, but that brings us to the $1,000 that we received from the city. Just a note, I was encouraged, or the council recommended that we do not spend that money on lunches, and so Councilor Freeman had suggested that, well, I don't know if you suggested we get donations, but that's what we did. And so now we have lunch donations from that meeting. Almost, I think that next month we've had donations. Peggy and Jerry Moore are here tonight, and they're from the Rickman Garden, and they are, extraordinary at getting donations from people. So along with Councilor Herrera, he is also, he attends our Keizer United meetings and is a representative for City Council at those meetings. And he has also brought so much to the table and helped us get donations. In fact, he was the second group, he brought the second group in for those lunch donations, which was the LAC, the Latinos in Action Committee. He also set up last month, Keizer United was able to tour C-Tech, and Roland set that all up, and we toured, and it was amazing. I don't know if you've had a chance to go to C-Tech, but have you seen the movie Monsters, Inc.? It reminded me of that. Every door you open, you're in a new land or a new place, and every door, you know, kids would be welding, and it was amazing. So I thank you, Councilor Herrera, for representing the council at our meetings, but also just for your personal input. The possibilities for the next $1,000, these are possibilities I say because we don't know, we haven't received any applications for funds to be allocated, but these are some possibilities. Kennedy Elementary, we've talked to Jesse there he's the principal at Kennedy, and he has an application, and we're expecting that to be coming in. And other Keizer schools, we worked with Weddell. In fact, we have 3 Keizer schools at the table now, and we are hoping to have more. And as the invites go out, hopefully that will increase. We have, just to a side note, we have 3 schools represented, at least 18 nonprofits, all 3 neighborhood associations, CERT, which is Community Emergency Response Team, the city, fire, police, transit, and peer court. We also have 6 churches, and hopefully more soon. And so the representation around the table is growing, and it is very exciting to be together with other people in the community and see what's happening and just listen and then watch the collaboration happen. And that's the value that it's hard to measure and bring to you besides this money thing. We see a lot of other stuff happening. For the technical term stuff. But I mean, we really do see good collaboration happening just organically over this meal that we have monthly. The other possibilities, if you've heard of satellite gaming, it's an after-school program. Jamie Harris runs that. He may be asking for funds in the future. And then I'm super excited about the 5K foot pursuit that's supporting Special Olympics. And Dorothy had talked to us a bit about that. And so hopefully we will be able to come alongside, encourage participation in that, help with bringing in volunteers, and then there's possible money requests there too. Are there any questions?
Any questions? Councilor Herrera.
I got a comment. You know, I've been part of this thing and the networking and the collaboration, just from my first meeting, joining you guys, I met the gentleman from a church on the hill who's also into mentoring, and we've started other stuff. So it's been growing sidebars, excuse the expression there. But also I wanted to mention that I believe the Rickman Garden, isn't that name changed already?
Different name now, yeah.
That changed? There's a new name for that Rickman Garden now. Would you?
Can we? Do you want me to say? Okay. Peggy and Jerry Moore have been working with the Rickman Garden. I think this was suggested by Matt, lawyer, to change the name, was it? And now to their, well, maybe they didn't want this, let's just say, but they are amazing people and they deserve it. I mean, if there was anything to be named after them, let's name a garden. I mean, seriously, they are amazing people, and they bring in donations and bring people together, and with no need for recognition. They're just so humble, and I love them. So.
Yeah, Council President Freeman.
My name's going to get longer, I think. So I just want to commend you because I was the one who really didn't want this money spent on food and lunch. And so I commend you and everyone that comes to Keizer United for the collaboration and working, Councilor Herrera, I know, and others. So I just want to commend you because I was pretty adamant about that. And I really appreciate you coming back and sharing with us what you've spent the money on, but most importantly, who's at the table. Because I've been on council for a while now and really had no idea about Keizer United. And I know it was a strong organization and then, you know, fell like a lot of organizations. And you and others have been, I'm going to say adamant and very forthcoming about getting more community members involved and spreading the great news and the work that you're doing. And so I hope that you continue to come back and give us updates. And you can't necessarily measure stuff, I get that, but I think you can give us a great report at the end of the year. And I'm sure you're going to be back when it's budget time to ask for some more money. So I'm going to just challenge you that it's going to be really critical, in my opinion, to really have a summary of what that stuff is. And I know it can't maybe be concrete in a lot of things, but I think just collaboration, and even if it's growing from 2 members and now you're at 50 members coming to lunch, I think that is a huge measure of stuff that's happening. So thank you very much.
Yes. And I thank all the people who come around the table, because really that's what it's about. I just helped create a space that was inviting and people show up. So yes, I will be more specific on this stuff. And because I love to tell the good stories that are happening, I just didn't know if that's appropriate in timing, but I will bring those stories and maybe the people to tell them. And yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
I would absolutely agree, tell the story. What you're leveraging with these dollars is not only a few projects, but more and more people are now collaborating on those projects. The garden is now a collaboration. The community closets are collaborations. So what I hear happening is that it's not just we put some money into this and said, there we go. These dollars and the volunteerism has now been leveraged, and more people are engaged in these very important programs and working together. That's the Keizer way. That's how we do things.
Yeah.
So I agree with Council President Freeman that tell this story about how this is growing organically
Okay.
and all of the different organizations, people that are coming together to make things work. Councilor Herrera.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Mention where our next meeting is going to be.
Okay.
And that's part of the deal. We move it around. Go ahead.
So typically we meet here at City Hall. For the past couple months, because of the holidays, we've been meeting the second Monday of every month instead of the third. Same time, different place. So as I said before, Councilor Herrera secured a place for us to take a tour, and that was CTEC, and their culinary department and Councilor Herrera provided lunch, and that was so fun. And now we get to meet at the fire hall on this coming this coming Monday, the second Monday in February, and the Moores secured that for us, and they have Firehouse Subs providing the lunch. So it's 12:15, I know, appropriate, 12:15 to 1:30, the second Monday of the month, so that's the 11th. And we will be back here at City Hall on the third Monday of the month, same time in March.
All right, fabulous. Thank you so much. Is there anybody else who would like to talk to us about the disbursement request before we go to a motion? All right, Council President Freeman.
I move the City Council approve the $1,000 disbursement to Keizer United for their upcoming projects, and this will solidify the $2,000 that they were approved for in our budget.
I'll second that.
It's been moved and seconded that the Keizer City Council approve the additional $1,000 to complete their disbursement in this year's budget. Discussion. Councilor Kohler.
Will they then be returning to tell us what they did with the $1,000?
Yes, yes, they will. Because that will be part of what they will need to do if they want to apply for funds for the next fiscal year. Anything else? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes unanimously. Keep it going. That takes us to item 8B, an order designating no parking zone in certain area of Park Meadow Drive, Northeast, Keizer, Oregon. City Manager.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Mr. Lawyer.
Thank you, Chris. Madam Mayor, Council, staff was contacted by the Salem-Keizer Transit District, or Chariots, about establishing a no parking zone on Park Meadow Drive Northeast at the intersection of O'Neill Road Northeast. Chariots recently completed constructing landing pads at multiple locations in Keizer, including this location. The no parking zone will ensure that the bus can stop and align with the landing pads at all times. Chariot staff have requested a 90-foot section of Park Meadow Drive, immediately east of the intersection of O'Neill Road, be designated no parking to allow the buses to align with the landing pads and not block the intersection while they are stopped loading or unloading riders. Staff has visited the site and found there is little to no impact creating this no parking zone, as there are no homes directly adjacent to Park Meadow in this area, and therefore there is very little demand for parking in this particular area. The proposed no parking zone will be identified with one sign placed at the east end of the zone that says no parking from here to corner with an arrow pointing to the left. There's minimal fiscal impact with approving this request. Staff recommends the City Council consider the matter and adopt the attached order designated a no parking zone on Park Meadow Drive Northeast at the intersection of O'Neill Road as indicated on the attached exhibit. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you very much. Any questions on the staff report? Councilor Parsons.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Bill, are you going to paint the curb red or just the signs?
Just the sign.
Okay.
just
and
the
you
one
think
sign.
that would work, the one sign?
Yeah. It's 90 foot short enough distance that, I mean, it's pretty obvious from here to the corner. The corner's not that
Right,
far
no,
away.
yeah, I saw it on the mapping. It's
Yeah.
a great place to have it. I was just wondering how you were going to do that.
I try not to paint the curbs because that just becomes an ongoing maintenance. We have to paint them every year.
Right, understood.
And so try the signs, and they're pretty effective.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions on the staff report? Okay. Council President Freeman.
I move the City Council adopt an order designating no parking zone in a certain area of Park Meadow Drive, Northeast, Keizer, Oregon.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that the Keizer City Council adopt an order designating no parking zone in a certain area of Park Meadow Drive, Northeast, Keizer, Oregon. Discussion. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion passes unanimously. Very good. Item 8C is a resolution authorizing the city manager to order removal of persons from city property. City manager.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. City Attorney?
Thank you, Chris, Madam Mayor and Council. There has been an increase in the number of persons remaining in the parks or other city property after designated hours. And for the most part, individuals move on when requested to do so by city staff or the police. Occasionally, we have folks that are a little more resistant. Right now, we typically would give them some time to move and then perhaps look at a citation, but citations often don't really have much effect. And so we do rarely, but occasionally run into a situation where we may be to a point of what's called trespassing somebody, if you've heard that term. That works a little easier if you're a homeowner or a business and the police can identify the manager of the business. With the city manager as the administrative head would be assumed to be the person to make that call to determine whether the person is authorized or not. But I just wanted to make it clear so that if anybody wanted to raise a challenge, that there'd be no question that Chris, as city manager, would do so. So the attached resolution basically authorizes the city manager to be what's called the person in charge, which is the term that's used in the trespassing statute, so that he can either order a standing order or a specific order, as the case may be. And I am going to be looking at this issue in a broader context with a more comprehensive ordinance having to do with what's called exclusion orders. Those would be in more refined situations, such as council meetings or the lobby, in situations that are typically a public area. So that's a little trickier. You can be challenged doing that, so we would need something a little more comprehensive. But I wanted to put this in place so that if we have a couple more instances like we've had over the last couple of months, we can't be questioned on the authority of the city manager to order that. So that's what this is all about. I have the resolution attached there. You can see that at the bottom of the page, it's page 25 in your packet, may issue standing orders regarding specific locations or times. That's mainly to do for the parks. It could be some other certain locations, but also removal of certain persons if such persons are violating applicable laws. That's the top of the next page. So that is the resolution I'm bringing before you tonight, and I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you very much. Questions? Council President Freeman.
I just have a question, and so like when Chris is gone, he designates a person to be an acting city manager. Would that apply in this as well, or is it only Chris as the city manager?
Well, the resolution allows it for 14 days. I decided that it needed to have a particular limit and needs to be in writing. So it wouldn't be necessarily automatic. If Chris was going to be gone, we'd be doing a specific written thing specifically for this, so that no one could question it later.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Councilor Parsons. They
Thank you,
switched
Madam Mayor.
places.
Shannon, I'm sorry, does this also include then, like, the one that you and I
talked
talked
about?
about, the fountain on the corner of Chemawa and River
Yes,
Road?
the focal point, yes.
Focal point, okay,
It would include that.
thank you.
And then I understand that, there are property owners that have standing orders now to make it simpler for if a situation needs to be dealt with where a person is either causing a disruption or needs to be assisted to a more appropriate locations, that they have the permission to come on that property. Is this similar to that? I was thinking of Schoolhouse Square where, and some other properties where they have something on file saying, yes, you may come on our property for this purpose of trespass.
Similar in that they both deal with trespass, but not similar in what the purpose of that list is. That list serves a different purpose in that we don't have to contact that particular person. We have a standing order from that person without having to contact them. What this does, I think what this really does is designate within city government with whom that responsibility lies. And I specify it that way because the law gives us cops the ability to get that permission from any responsible person. In other words, if we can't get a hold of Chris, then any government official will do. You follow me? But within city government, it makes it very clear that responsibility lies with Chris. I like this, to be clear.
Okay. We've got clarity, and then we've got, this is a narrow enough scope, it's clear what it's for, and that under the situations in which would be applied, and there are already protocols in place that the police are very familiar with. This is not adding anything new. Okay. Further discussion or questions? Okay, Councilor Kohler.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Just clarification, it's not Chris specifically, but the city manager.
Or designee. Mhm.
Okay,
Thank you.
all right. Council President Freeman.
I move the City Council adopt resolution authorizing the city manager to order removal of persons from city property.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that the Keizer City Council adopt Resolution R 2019 authorizing city manager to order removal of persons from city property. Discussion. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion passes unanimously. Turn page. That takes us to the consent calendar. Council President Freeman, would you please read the items on the consent calendar?
We have 4 items on the consent calendar tonight. Item A is a resolution approving the city engineer's report declaring the city's intent to form Sterling Meadow Street Lighting Local Improvement District, providing notice and setting hearing. Item B is a resolution authorizing the city manager to sign agreement for purchase and installation of water telemetry system upgrade fiscal year 18-19. Item C is a resolution approving extension of the cable television franchise agreement with Comcast of Oregon, Inc., formerly known as Far West Communications, Inc., doing business as AT&T Cable Services. Resolution D, sorry, there was 5 items. Sorry, I can't count today. Resolution D is authorizing Chief of Police to enter into an interagency memorandum of understanding for license plate scanning with Washington State Patrol. And item E is approval of the January 22nd, 2019 regular session minutes.
Thank you very much. Are there any polls?
Yes, thank you,
Councilor
Madam Mayor.
Smith.
Yeah, I need to, I have a direct conflict on C.
Okay, we're going to pull C. Okay, anything else? Council President Freeman.
I move that the Keizer City Council approve items A, B, D, and E of the consent calendar.
Second.
Consent calendar items A, B, D, and E have been moved and seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion passes unanimously. Councilor Smith. So we're pulling this because?
My husband works for Comcast.
Okay. So you will be abstaining from this vote? Okay. Council President Freeman.
I move the Keizer City Council adopt Resolution C.
Second.
Consent calendar item Resolution C has been moved and seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Abstentions?
Aye.
Motion passes with 6 aye and 1 abstention from Councilor Smith. All right, council liaison reports. Councilor Rivera, I'm going to go ahead and start with you anyway,
Okay.
even though you're on the other
I'm on a
side.
new spot here.
I
so
know.
gotta get used to it.
You still get the long straw.
I just gotta say, I wanna, got a really fuzzy feeling watching our youth come up and do such great stuff today. It's just really wonderful. That's why we love this community. Anyway, we had City Day last week, which a few of us attended. We had it was a great day, actually, a full day of, and I had the honor of introducing the governor to Governor Brown to our youth council from Gresham. And Ricky Ruiz, who's a friend of mine, is on the school board, and they were all excited to meet her, and I thought it was pretty cool because I think they lined her up for the youth festival this year. So we're working. So that was kind of cool. Our Cal Club is getting this Kennedy Academy of Leadership for fourth and fifth graders. For those that don't know, that's a group that we kind of instill community service and bring in speakers, and they come and see City Hall, meet the mayor, and all the good stuff. Anyway, our group has expanded. I counted almost 60 people in our last group, and that's like incredible. I mean, for starting just like 22 people, and all the communities involved, it's so awesome. The other thing we did, I had a mano board meeting coming up, and then of course last week I went to this Saturday. Oh, by the way, I went to go see Kiss.
Oh, yes.
It was a real weird. It's a very. And then Sunday, of course, I went to. There's a contrast there. I went to go to the service of Dr. McGee, and that was very well attended. And Mary, you did a great job with your speech there, and everybody did. It was very nice. Looking forward to the revitalization meeting next week. Nate, is that next Tuesday? So that means we got something Monday and Tuesday, right? Why do you do that? Yeah. The last thing I wanted, I had the honor also of taking Dennis up to a swearing in of Rachel. Her last name used to be Kitson, but now it's she's now took the oath of Judge Lynn County, and she's a former. I don't know if you know her, Shannon, but she's a former law school student or buddy of former Mayor Dennis Coho. So I took him up there. He didn't fall asleep this time. It was kind of cool. So, but anyway, that was kind of interesting. And I got to tell you this: he asked me if I could take him up to Corvallis. So let's just go. And we got to Corvallis, and then he goes. I said, "Where's the city hall?" I think I know where it is. He goes, "We're in Albany," and I go, "No, we're in Corvallis." He goes, "It's in Albany." So we turned back. Anyway, sorry, Dennis, but that's pretty much it. The last thing I want to say is that we have the Hall of Fame coming up, and I want to push that again for anybody interested. For the Hall of Fame tickets, I'm actually one of the guys that you can see or contact Maneri. Like I say, Sean Kittner's going in, and the 2009 baseball team last state championship. And that's pretty much all I have for now. Sorry.
All right. No, fabulous. Thank you so much. And I'm sure Dennis will, he'll get even, right? That's awesome. Councilor Parsons.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We met in a Keizer Little League sub-task force with Matt Lawyer and the two presidents of the leagues, and we did really get a lot accomplished. I think we're going to come up with a good plan there. I also attended Jerry McGee's.
Can I press pause
Yes.
there? I understand that we might have to reschedule the task force meeting that's for February 26th because of conflicts?
Yes, so on Tuesday nights for the next 6 weeks, both Councilor Reed, myself, and Matt Lawyer will be attending the Keizer Citizens Academy with the police force. So it's kind of a mandatory thing. So, which kind of puts a kink in our February 18th city council meeting, which we need to discuss. So, so you have to ask the chief for permission if we could leave early, or, I mean, I don't know what, that's up to him, but anyway. But yeah, so Tuesday nights for the next 6 weeks, or starting tomorrow night, aren't gonna work for myself and Councilor Reed for
Yeah,
other things.
we kind of need them for the council meeting, just FYI. But it sounds like we are
I'm
going
gonna
to
put it
have.
on him.
Come on, Chief.
We'll.
It starts at 6 o'clock, so
Okay.
we should be hopefully able to go there halftime and then get here in time, I
Okay.
would think. We'll
We'll arm
talk
wrestle
with
for
Lieutenant
it.
Copeland and Chief, and we'll figure it
Okay.
out. Okay.
But for the 26th, it sounds like we need to reschedule, so I see Tracy making notes. And we will set to work on getting that rescheduled. So Councilor Kohler and I just got a night back.
So,
Yeah, we'll have to pay that one back, though. All right.
so I know, but, which is just fine, because the sub-task force wants to meet one more time before we all meet together as a group anyway, so that's kind of gonna work out for us. Then I attended the revitalization meeting, with, a few people. I had I got to have Richard Walsh in my group. So we only went a half hour over, which wasn't too bad. But we did come up with some really good things, so I want to thank you, Nate, for that one. But I won't be able to attend the one next Tuesday because, again, we will be with the police chief. So then coming up, I have Volcanoes Winter Banquets on Thursday night, so support the Volcanoes. That's going to be at the Mission Mill again, right? Mission Mill. On the 11th, we have the council orientation. Looking forward to learning some new things. Well, getting them to learn new things. On the 14th, have Stormwater Advisory. And Councilor Kohler and I were discussing this on Saturday, and he thought it was just him, but it's actually 3 of us. So nobody's getting out of it, just so you know. I'll see you there. And then we're still recruiting for committees, mainly the KPIC, Keizer Points of Interest Committee. So, you know, Dr. Jerry McGee, who we celebrated his life on Saturday, was the founder of that committee. He believed very highly in, you know, learning all things history about Keizer, and I tell you, we've learned a lot of things, and I think we're still learning things, and this is a wonderful group of people. So anyone interested, you go to citykeizer.org website on the volunteer opportunities, and it's right there. We also are still looking for some more youth liaison for some of our committees, so if one of these nice students comes up and says, you know, I'm interested in being more involved, let's get them on board, okay? And then we still need mentors for McNary. We are in scholarship mode and could use a couple more hands for the next couple months. If you're available, see Mrs. Ferris at McNary at the Counseling Center. And that's all I have. Thank you.
All right, fabulous. Councilor Smith.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. It was actually a couple weeks, it was fairly quiet. I didn't feel like I was going 18 different directions. So the one that I did go to was the Keizer Festival Committee, and they're kind of in hibernation mode right now, but the next meeting, they said that they'll have the bands and things for the Irish Festival for us to approve. They didn't really have that list, so we'll be looking at approving those in April. Other than that, I'm looking forward to the Volcanoes banquet this week and whatever else you guys assign me to.
Council thing on Mondays just for you.
Oh, and yeah, and training, so I know what I'm actually doing. That'd be great.
That, for all of us, is a constant learning, work in progress. All right, thank you so much. Council President Freeman.
Okay, I figured you were going to Councilor Kohler. So I just want to thank everyone for covering for me last month while I was out. I really appreciate it. I did watch you all on TV. I know this has been a constant work in progress, and Tim is like not looking at me, right? I'm going to just tell everyone, you better eat the microphone because it is really hard to hear you on TV, believe it or not. And Chris, I know you said that one mic over there works. You can't hear anyone. And I still turn my volume 30 or higher at home on, and I have Comcast, and it is still really challenging. So if you have a soft voice, I mean, no one ever has trouble hearing me, but if you have a soft voice, you almost really have to speak louder to really hear. Like Nate, it's hard to hear you sometimes. Because you have a soft voice, and Roland, it's hard to hear you. Sometimes it's hard to hear Bill. So I'm just saying that, and we need to encourage our committee, when we're on committees too, to speak into the microphone. So I am looking forward to the work session. We talked about revitalization open house. It's here from 6 to 8, and that is open to the public, and I'm sure Nate's going to talk about it later. Thank you, Nate, to cancel the Planning Commission, so I don't have something every night next week, so I appreciate that. Thursday, February 14th, which is Valentine's Day, in case anyone has forgotten. But West Keizer will be meeting, West Keizer Neighborhood Association will be meeting here at 7 p.m. I'll start that day with a Marion County Commissioner breakfast on the 14th. I also attended Dr. Jerry McGee's memorial, which was heartwarming and tearful when grown men stand up and talk about how wonderful he was, and then they tear up, and then I'm usually the one that always cries, so then I, had tears in my eyes. But it was a very, very nice tribute to him as well. I just have to give a shout out to people that in our community for picking up trash. This last month I was off and was able to do a lot of walking in the West Keizer neighborhood and around, and people really walk every day with bags of trash and little trash grabbers and pick up trash, and it's awesome. So thank you to everyone that does that. And then speaking of Keizer Points of Interest, I've walked Keizer River Rapids Park I don't know how many times, but I've never really stopped to look at all the flood pictures. and where they've marked where the flood of 1948 and 1964 and all of those. And so, you know, I've lived here all my life and I've heard about all of those, but I just want to give shout out to the committee and the staff for putting that together. It's pretty awesome. So I guess maybe everyone needs to stop and smell the roses and look at things that the committees are doing, because it's pretty awesome. So thank you. And it took me having to be off and walk around town to really look at that. So thank you.
Thank you very much. Councilor Reed.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I assisted in serving for the community dinner on the 23rd, and that was a lot of fun. Those are really great events, and it's fun to see everybody get together with that. I also attended the League of Oregon Cities Convention, at least the evening reception, and that was really an interesting experience. Also, KFAB, Keizer Festival Advisory Board, that Councilor Smith already kind of updated us on. I had a chance to attend the Student Art Fair at the Keizer Art Association. Some really, really impressive pieces from those kids. It's a great collaboration between our community art association and our high school, and it's some really good mentoring going on, and I was really impressed with that. Also, excited to start the Police Academy this Tuesday, so expecting to learn lots about that, and I guess I can't be a policeman when I'm done with that 6-week course, but at least I will understand that world a lot better. So, okay, and then we have the Southeast Keizer Neighborhood Association coming up on the 7th, which is also this Thursday. I guess Wednesday before that. I'm talking to Scouts in Troop 67, finishing up their Citizenship in the Community Award. So if you guys want to drop in on that, you're welcome to do that. And then a Stormwater Advisory Committee, and then I'm also going to be covering for Councilor Kohler for the Traffic Safety Committee that night. The Keizer Homegrown Theater has a staged reading coming up on February 15th, 16th at 7, and then on the 17th at noon, and that is called Art. This was first debuted as part of the Cherry Festival in Salem a couple years ago, and we're really excited to do another stage reading. Those worked really well with the first one we did, which was Love Letters, and so we're excited to have another similar kind of production. Tickets are $10. They're free to Oregon Trail card holders, and they're available either online or at the door. At McNary, the winter sports are coming to a close with district events happening. I believe swimming is the first group that has districts, and that's coming up this week, and then other districts meets and matches and games will be happening shortly thereafter, and our spring sports are beginning. So one of the things McNary is really pushing is getting all students involved with one activity or one sport or one something, because the data shows that the more involved they are, the more the better they do in school and the better their attendance. So we're doing a real push to get kids involved with track, because it's a very, there's such a wide variety of different events and different things that kids can do. So if you know a kid who needs to get involved, have him or her sign up for track. So, and all of that registration is online. So if you just visit the McNary website, you can see how that works. And that is all I have. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Councilor Kohler.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I'm going to try. So also with Councilor Reed, we stood next to each other and we served about 300 people at the Keizer Community Dinner. It was really a lot of fun. The taco salad that was prepared and served by the Keizer congregations of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. I'm learning. On Tuesday, with Roland, I attended the League of Oregon Cities Day at the Capitol, and then was joined by Councilor Reed later in the evening. Thursday, attended Keizer Greeters, and then Tuesday, the Legislative Update Luncheon with the Keizer Chamber, where they donated $2,000 to United Way and $500 to the McNary writing class that Eric works with. And there's another thing that happened there. They had a very nice recognition for former city councilor
Bruce Anderson for his years of service with the chamber as a council liaison. Wednesday, the 30th, I attended as a busboy along with Bob Shackelford at the Chamber Cooks Night Out at El Patron, a new event for the council, or excuse, for the chamber, and that was a lot of fun. And then Saturday, like what you attended the service for Dr. McGee, and also Saturday attended the Keizer Salem Middle School All-City Music Concert. What a blessing to have so many great youth learning and participating in music. You notice it was the Keizer Salem Middle School. So this week and beyond, we have the Watershed Council meeting Wednesday, and then the banquet, the Volcanoes banquet on Thursday, Monday the training. That whole week, for about 6 months, I've had scheduled a week at the coast with my wife. We'll be coming back for the training. I appreciate Councilor Reed stepping in for me at the Bike Ped Committee meeting.
All right. Well, enjoy your time. Thank you very much. Just a couple of things to add. Make sure this is close enough. On the 23rd, I was one of the presenters for the League of Oregon Cities Elected Essentials, and I want to thank the League for bringing that event here. There was attendance of about 100, and want to also thank Tracy Davis for assistance and the staff here who helped make everybody as comfortable. They came and enjoyed this building, many for the first time. I did a presentation on City Council, City Manager form of government, along with Megan Johnson from the League of Oregon Cities. We had a lot of fun doing it, and hopefully people learned something from it. On the 24th, we had the Mid-Willamette Valley Council of Governments Board Executive Committee, and we're finalizing all of these events for the annual meeting and the awards banquet on the 20th. 31st was the Rotary Luncheon, and I did a presentation on our current city studies using Nate's wonderful Cliff Notes, thank you, from our work session last month, because I can't always keep them all straight. And also talked about our parks fee and what we have accomplished in the first year and what we are doing going forward. People really enjoyed and had some great questions. On Friday the 1st, I recorded a podcast for the League of Oregon Cities with former Commissioner Janet Carlson on the homeless initiative, and that will be airing soon. That'll be available via the website for League of Oregon Cities as well as social media, so we'll put that out there. And then I'm glad you got over to the Student Art Show. I really wanted to be there, but like all of us, we were at the memorial for Dr. Jerry McGee. It was wonderful to meet his family, Diane Monroe and her family, and so many people in our community who came to share their memories, some hilarious stories, some very heartwarming stories, and real reflection of the legacy that Jerry and Shirley and the family has left for Keizer. And I think that he will continue to be very proud of what this community is doing in taking care of each other. Today we had Councilor Herrera and I were at the CTEC Advisory Board and heard more about what's happening. Signing night is coming for the next class going into CTEC, and also the showcase, and then they're going to do before they did mock interviews, they're just going to do interviews, because when businesses come to CTEC, they don't want to just talk to them, they want to hire these students, which is awesome for the businesses, awesome for the students, and speaks very highly to the caliber of training that these students are receiving. They're ready to enter the workforce. And Youth Councilor Ferris was one of the presenters today talking about digital media. We got to see some of her work, and these students are very well-spoken, prepared young professionals, and I am so proud that they are the students from our community, and they're going to just continue to rock this for the incoming workforce. She did a great job. Coming up, let's see, the Volcanoes Community Advisory Committee will start their work tomorrow. Okay, tomorrow. Mitch Graff is the new president of operations, and so he's asked some community members to come and meet with him this year to get a sense of the community and how Volcanoes can move into the future, what they offer, what the fan experience that wants to be, and most importantly, how they connect with the community as it is today. 20 years ago when they came, they were relevant and so forth, and they want to stay relevant and be prepared for the future. And I really applaud them for being thoughtful about doing it the Keizer way. You don't assume, you ask, and then you listen. Way to go. I'm looking forward to that conversation. On Friday, I'll be speaking at the celebration of leadership for now former Woodburn Mayor Kathy Figley. She had served for many terms, got them through urban renewal, urban growth, all sorts of work in Woodburn, and has left Woodburn, I think, a much stronger city for her dedicated years of service. So I'll be joining the community there for that celebration. See, on next Tuesday, we have the Keizer Heritage Foundation Board, and then on Wednesday, SEDCOR, Strategic Economic Development Corporation, is going to be talking about freight and trucking, which is important for our traded sector. And then on the 16th, Oregon birthday celebration at the Capitol, open to the public from 10 to 2, go on down. Some great displays, birthday cake, and a chance to do tours in our state's capital. Nothing happening around here, just sleepy little town, right? Before I go to city staff, our youth counselor, Ann Ferris, was not able to be here tonight, but she sent her report. Is that prepared or what? She said you can read it out or print it. There's a lot of stuff happening these next few weeks at McNary. Don't want people to miss out. Councilor Herrera, I found the event you asked about and listed it with the others. So a few points here, and I'll give this to Tracy Davis to add to tonight's proceedings. College and Career Center Open House will be Tuesday, February 5th from 1:30 to 8. Students and parents are encouraged to come and ask their college and career planning questions. Mrs. Ferris will be there all evening, and Pacific University admissions counselor, go Boxers, Rudy Sanchez will be giving on-site admissions decisions and answering questions. My daughter went there, in case you're wondering. Willamette University students will also be attending to assist students searching for colleges and scholarships. So people, again, as Councilor Parsons pointed out, if you want to help students with college admissions, they need hands on deck. Winter Athlete Signing Day, Wednesday, February 6th, 2:30 in the College and Career Center. Senior signing, David Allen will play baseball at Pacific University this fall. Tyler Koval will play baseball at Umpqua Community College. Congratulations to these student athletes. Last week, the CTEC, Career Technical Education students from McNary attended the CTE Industry Summit at Salem Convention Center, had opportunities to attend presentations and speak with industry professionals about their classes. And then McNary High School recently was chosen to host the 2019 Capital College Night. High schools from Marion, Polk, and Yamhill counties will be invited to attend the event on Tuesday, April 16th. And then the choir will be attending the Bend A Cappella Festival on Friday, February 8th, I'm assuming weather permitting. And then Wednesday, February 16th, is the Prospective Collegiate Athletic event. Athletic Director Scott Gregg will present information to McNary students and parents about playing sports at a collegiate level and the steps you need to take. And then Councilor Herrera asked about this Tuesday, or not this Tuesday, Tuesday, February 26th is Keizer Community McNary CTE Showcase, an opportunity for McNary to show the Keizer community the CTE programs we offer. Thank you, Ann, for sending this to us, and we'll make sure this gets into the record for Ms. Davis. Fabulous. This takes us to other business. This time is provided to allow the mayor, city council members, or staff an opportunity to bring new or old matters before the council that are not on tonight's agenda. City manager.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Tracy. Tim.
Nothing.
Bill.
Nothing for me, thanks.
Nate.
I got stuff. So
You ruined our streak.
on the, and I better speak up, hadn't I? So this coming, I just wanted to let the council know that this coming Tuesday, it is an open house. So it's not as though you have to come in and listen to an hour presentation. There will be stations set up with all the ideas.
Councilor Parsons, you saw those ideas, but, so we're going to have stations. You can come in, look at what you're interested in. You don't have to sit through a presentation, and I would encourage you just to break away from your other meetings, just to see it and just to kind of get a feel for the people that are coming. I know you're very busy. There's lots of stuff to fit in here. We also have our buildable lands inventory open house that will be coming up on the 21st. So if you'll make sure you put that in your calendars as well. And that is where we're basically going to show the research that has been done on the housing needs that we have. And so that's also going to be very informative and very beneficial for the council. And just one other thing, we have 3 new exhibits in the gallery out there in the hallway. There is Mr. Nichols is the 3D art that he has that is hanging there. We also have 2 student artists, which are on the walls that are on the outside wall. And so I would encourage everybody to just take a minute and look at the artwork that is there. It's good, fine art, and is very enjoyable.
I heard a lot of oohs and ahs as people came in Saturday for the celebration of life. People enjoying the beautiful new art hanging. Thank you.
Councilor?
Just to confirm, Nate, that's next Tuesday, week from tomorrow, February 12th?
That's correct.
And the open house is from?
The open house is from 7 to 8.
6 to 8,
Sorry.
I hope.
Sorry. 6 to 8.
Okay.
And what time is the buildable lands meeting on the
That
21st?
one, so that one we're having a double header. So the citizens group will be meeting beforehand, but it will also be from 6 to 8.
Okay. Yeah, we got a personnel policy meeting that night, but okay, we'll figure it out.
And I have nothing further. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Mayor.
And just one other thing on that open house, it's also going to be an open house just for an opportunity for public to see it and to make comment. That's not going to be the last time you're seeing that stuff.
I'm sure. Okay, so that's on the 21st from 6 to 8. Okay, I'll get that into my calendar. Written communications, I don't have anything tonight. Agenda input, actually, before I go to that, I don't have specifically, yes, Councilor Kohler, you had one more?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I thought under other business, we'd have an opportunity to talk, but
Yes.
thank you. Former Mayor Dennis Coho had surgery today. He's had his surgery. He is home resting fine. So don't give him too bad a time rolling.
If you don't give him a hard time, though, then he'll think it's really serious. All our best wishes there, Dennis. Hang in there. Thank you. I'd like to add one more thing. And this announcement came out through the Keizer history. And this is in honor of Keizer's first police chief, Robert Thomas. He passed away on January 28th. And the mass for him will be this Thursday, February 7th at 10:30 at St. Edward's. And I would encourage everybody to take a look online or in the paper for a description of his work and life and contribution. And one of the things he was most proud of was being our very first police chief. I did not have a chance to get to know Chief Thomas. I don't know if you did, Chief Teague. All right. So anyway, I want to bring that to our attention so we can also thank his family for the years of service that he gave to our community in public safety. It is a family commitment, and we want to honor and thank him and his family for their service to Keizer. Agenda input. We will be meeting next Monday at 5:45 for City Council orientation. On the next week, we will meet on February 19th, is that correct? And that's a Tuesday for City Council in regular session at 7 p.m. That is because of the Monday holiday. For President's Day, and then we'll meet again for another work session on February 25th, starting at 5:45, to discuss our city council goals. Is there anything else for the good of the order? Seeing none, it is 8:25, and we are adjourned.